Introduction. Friends, if you're excited to watch the super entertaining and laugh out loud movie Medea's Destination Wedding in English, then you're exactly where you need to be. And if you've just stumbled onto our channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe because we've got loads of exciting content just like this lined up for you. In today's video, we're diving deep into the wild, wedding crashing, suitcase packing, chaos-sparking new chapter in the Madea universe, Medea's Destination Wedding Star. This movie promises everything fans love about Madea, but this time, the family drama takes a first-class flight straight to a luxurious island wedding, and Madea is right in the middle of it with her signature sass and sharp tongue. So what exactly is this film about? What kind of madness unfolds when a destination wedding turns into a Madea-style intervention? I'll be telling you all that and more in today's video. We'll start with where you can watch this film, whether it's available in theaters, on popular OTT platforms, or coming to satellite TV channels. I'll give you the most up-to-date information so you don't miss a single moment of Medea's tropical mischief. Whether you want to stream it from your couch or catch it on the big screen with popcorn in hand, I'll guide you to the best way to enjoy it. We'll also be taking a close look behind the scenes. That means I'll walk you through the technical side of things, the cinematography, the editing, the costume design, and everything else that went into making this film visually and comically rich. We'll discuss the musical score and how the soundtrack adds to the fun and emotion of the story. You'll learn about the pre-production journey, from the earliest planning stages, all the way through the filming process and post-production finishing touches that shaped the final product. Curious about the budget? I've got that too. How much was spent, where it went, and how it compares to other films in the Madea franchise. And of course, we'll cover the story itself. I'll give you a mini review that gives a good sense of what the film's all about without spoiling too much. You'll get a feel for the tone, the plot, and all the twists and turns that keep things hilarious and heartfelt from beginning to end. Plus, we'll talk about the star cast. Who's in it, who's returning, and who's playing who. We'll break down the performances, see which actors stood out, and which characters had the most impact in the film. Tyler Perry once again takes center stage as Madea, and you can expect some new and familiar faces to shake things up in unexpected ways. And wait, there's more. I'll also throw in some fun facts and lesser-known trivia that will surprise even the most hardcore Madea fans. From filming locations to improvised scenes to unexpected cameos, this film has its fair share of interesting behind-the-scenes stories. So if you want to know everything about Medea's Destination Wedding, from the tropical paradise setting to the family secrets that unfold, I suggest you stick with us right till the end of the video. We've got a whole lot to unpack, and it's going to be fun from start to finish. So friends, grab a snack, settle in, and let's kick off the video. Medea's Destination Wedding begins with sunshine, smiles, and an air of tropical bliss, but don't be fooled. This is a Madea movie, and that means things are about to go sideways in the most entertaining way possible. The story kicks off with the entire family boarding a plane to a luxurious island resort where a young, seemingly perfect couple is getting ready to tie the knot. Everything looks picture-perfect at first glance. White sand beaches, flowing cocktails, tropical flowers, and a guest list packed with carefully curated friends and family. But the second Madea steps off the plane, she senses something's off, and she's not the type to keep those suspicions to herself. The opening act sets the stage for what feels like a straightforward wedding weekend comedy, but there are undercurrents of tension everywhere. The bride is overly controlling, the groom is unusually quiet, and both families are trying a little too hard to keep everything pleasant. Medea's sharp eye and even sharper tongue catch all the little red flags that no one else is willing to acknowledge. The first act uses comedy to mask the slow burn buildup of conflict, as passive-aggressive comments and forced smiles start to crack under the pressure of pretending everything's perfect. One of the early narrative sparks involves a rehearsal dinner toast gone horribly wrong, where a drunken cousin makes a comment that hints at an affair, and suddenly the night turns from celebratory to suspicious. From there, the story kicks into gear. Madea begins investigating in her signature way, eavesdropping, snooping through rooms, and cornering guests for uncomfortable heart-to-hearts. The narrative keeps a tight focus on her as a comedic force of disruption, but beneath the laughs, she's the one uncovering the emotional rot hiding under the surface. One moment she's bickering with the resort manager about towel service, the next she's peeling back secrets between the bride and her estranged father. The brilliance lies in how seamlessly the film blends slapstick and sincerity. You're laughing one minute and genuinely invested the next. The plot deepens in the middle act, when more layers are added to the drama. The groom's ex unexpectedly shows up claiming she was invited by mistake, but she's not leaving. The maid of honor seems to know more about the groom's past than she's letting on. There's a will they won't they subplot involving a divorced aunt and one of the island bartenders. And to top it all off, the resort hosts a fire dancer luau that turns into chaos when Madea, trying to fix things behind the scenes, accidentally spikes the punch and exposes several guests' true feelings mid-dance. The story doesn't rely on flashbacks or non-linear tricks, but it plays with narrative perspective in clever ways. Different scenes let us see how various characters interpret the same situations, and secrets are revealed through overlapping conversations, crossed signals, and comedic misunderstandings. There's a brilliant running gag where two family members misinterpret each other's intentions and end up engaged to be married by accident, adding a layer of absurdity to the already tangled web of relationship issues. The emotional stakes keep rising, and just when you think the chaos can't escalate any further, nature steps in. A sudden tropical storm traps everyone indoors the night before the wedding. The resort loses power, the air conditioning cuts out, and all the secrets finally spill out in the flickering glow of emergency candles. It's in this section that the movie flips from farcical to deeply personal. The bride confesses she's unsure she's truly in love. The groom admits he's been pressured by family expectations. An old grudge resurfaces between two sisters who haven't spoken in years. Characters confront painful truths about themselves, about each other, and about what it really means to build a future together. Madea, always blunt but weirdly wise, becomes the emotional centerpiece of this breakdown. She doesn't offer sugar-coated advice. Instead, she tells it like it is, forcing everyone to reckon with what's real and what's been pretend. And as the storm begins to pass, so does the tension. The final act of the film is about reassembly. Not everyone leaves with the same partner they arrived with, and not all relationships make it out intact. But the honesty brings healing. The wedding does happen, but not quite as planned. It's smaller, simpler, and filled with more sincerity than spectacle. A sunrise ceremony replaces the grand event, and the vows feel earned rather than staged. In the final moments, Madea lounges in a beach chair, satisfied that she's once again set a whole room of messy people straight. The film closes with a mix of hugs, laughter, reconciliations, and a dance party that feels both cathartic and celebratory. What started as a postcard-perfect vacation turned into an emotional boot camp, where love was tested, families fought and forgave, and everyone left a little more honest than they arrived. The narrative doesn't reinvent structure, but it doesn't need to. The charm is in how it balances comedy and truth, chaos and clarity, drama and joy. It's a Madea story through and through, loud, heartfelt, and never boring for a second. The characters in Medea's destination wedding arrive with their own distinct personalities, quirks, and secrets, but what makes this film stand out is how those layers slowly peel away over the course of the story, revealing vulnerabilities and growth that make them more than just caricatures for laughs. Right at the center is Madea herself, larger than life, fiercely outspoken, and unapologetically blunt. Madea is not the one changing in this story. Rather, she's the emotional hurricane who shakes everyone else out of their comfort zones and forces them to face truths they'd rather keep buried. Her role as both the comedic heart and the no-nonsense truth-teller anchors the entire character development journey around her. Starting with Kayla, the bride-to-be, she presents as the quintessential Type A personality. Organized to a fault, driven by control, and obsessed with perfection, Kayla's desire for a flawless wedding masks deeper insecurities and unresolved family wounds. The film gradually reveals that her relentless pursuit of a perfect event is really an attempt to mask her fear of disappointment and rejection, especially from her estranged father. Kayla's journey is about learning to let go of this tight grip on control, to accept that life and love don't come with guarantees or perfect moments. We see this through her breakdowns when things go awry, her moments of frustration when her carefully laid plans fall apart, and eventually in the quiet scenes where she admits her doubts and vulnerabilities. Her arc is painful but relatable, showing the power in admitting imperfection and embracing the messiness of real life. Marcus, the groom, is initially portrayed as the calm and agreeable partner, the Ian to Kayla's Yang. But beneath that composed exterior lies a man who has spent too much time trying to please others at the expense of his own desires. His character development hinges on finding his own voice, learning to speak up and claim his own happiness rather than living out someone else's expectations. The reappearance of an old flame during the wedding weekend acts as a catalyst for this change, forcing Marcus to confront past choices and question the path he's on. His slow transformation from a passive figure to someone who asserts himself adds emotional depth to the story. Medea's sharp prodding and unfiltered advice push him toward honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. By the end, Marcus isn't just a supporting player in the wedding drama, he becomes a man who understands the importance of authenticity in relationships. Simone, the maid of honor and Kayla's cousin, brings a mix of wit and guardedness. At first, she plays the role of the supportive friend with a sarcastic edge, but it becomes clear that she's hiding a secret, her past relationship with Marcus. This secret hangs over her like a shadow, complicating her loyalties and her own feelings about love and forgiveness. Simone's arc is perhaps one of the most complex. She wrestles with guilt and the fear of damaging her relationship with Kayla if the truth comes out. Her journey is about courage, the courage to own her story, to be honest with herself and those she loves. The film gives space for her to have difficult conversations, especially with Madea, who challenges her to stop hiding behind jokes and face reality. Simone's growth is raw and heartfelt, adding nuance to the film's exploration of friendship and betrayal. Gloria, Kayla's mother, is a classic Southern matriarch with a sharp tongue and an even sharper sense of control. Initially, she provides plenty of comic relief with her stylish outfits, pointed remarks, and penchant for gossip, but as the story unfolds, her character reveals layers of pain and regret from a fractured marriage and strained family relationships. Gloria's often tense interactions with Kayla expose a generational pattern of emotional distance and unspoken hurt. The turning point for her character comes during the storm when she and Madea share a vulnerable moment, showing that even the toughest facades hide deep wounds. Gloria's journey is about breaking free from the need to maintain appearances and opening herself up to reconciliation and healing. Her evolution adds a bittersweet texture to the family dynamics and highlights the film's themes of forgiveness. Trey, the groom's brother, brings levity as the jokester, the life of the party who always has a quip ready. But beneath the humor lies a character grappling with feelings of inadequacy and being overlooked. His arc is quieter but no less meaningful. Trey's moments of vulnerability, when he drops the act and reveals his insecurities, resonate strongly. His unexpected heroism during the chaotic moments of the wedding weekend shows that courage doesn't always roar, it can be quiet, steady, and transformative. Trey's growth from a background comic relief figure to an emotional anchor enriches the story's balance of comedy and heart. Even supporting characters get moments to shine with multi-dimensional portrayals. The best man, the ex-girlfriend, the resort manager, and other guests all have their own secrets and conflicts that intersect with the main storylines. These interactions add layers of complexity and make the world feel lived in and real rather than just a backdrop for Medea's antics. What truly binds these characters together is the evolution of their relationships. The wedding weekend acts as a pressure cooker, intensifying old grudges, hidden feelings, and unresolved conflicts. Friendships are tested as truths come out, sometimes painfully, sometimes humorously. Family ties are stretched and, in some cases, repaired. Romantic relationships are questioned, redefined, or ended. These shifting dynamics drive the emotional core of the film. Each character's motivation, whether it's a desire for love, approval, forgiveness, or freedom, feeds into their choices and growth. The story refuses to shy away from the messiness of real human connections, showing that sometimes love means confronting uncomfortable truths and making difficult decisions. Throughout the film, Madea is the catalyst who refuses to let anyone stay stuck in denial or pretense. Her brash honesty, quick wit, and no-nonsense attitude force each character to drop their masks. She's the one who challenges Kayla to stop controlling, pushes Marcus to speak up, calls out Simone's silence, and softens Gloria's guarded heart. Without Madea, the story's emotional breakthroughs wouldn't happen. She's like the spark that ignites the flames of transformation, even if it means ruffling feathers. In the end, no character emerges perfectly polished or completely healed. They all carry scars, doubts, and questions. But what Medea's Destination Wedding does so well is show that growth isn't about perfection, it's about honesty, courage, and connection. Each character's journey is messy, unpredictable, and deeply human. Their transformations may not follow a tidy path, but they are earned through laughter, tears, and a whole lot of Medea-style truth-telling. This rich character development is what makes the film more than just a comedy. It's a heartfelt exploration of family, love, and the complicated ties that bind us all together. The performances in Medea's Destination Wedding are a showcase of talent that expertly balances the film's broad comedic elements with surprisingly heartfelt emotional moments, creating a cast that truly brings the story to life. Right from the start, Tyler Perry commands attention as Madea with his signature blend of boldness, humor, and depth. His portrayal could easily become a one-note caricature given how larger-than-life the character is, but Perry skillfully injects nuance into Medea's personality. Beneath the loud, brash exterior lies a character with a surprising tenderness and wisdom, and Perry's delivery, whether in a sharp-witted comeback or a rare moment of vulnerability, cements Madea as the undeniable anchor of the film. Every scene he's in crackles with energy, and his comedic timing is impeccable, making his presence both entertaining and emotionally grounding. The actress playing Kayla, the bride, offers a standout performance that perfectly captures the complexity of a woman struggling to maintain control over an unraveling dream. Early on, she embodies Kayla's meticulousness and high-strung energy, delivering fast-paced lines with a sense of urgency that reveals her inner pressure cooker. But what makes this portrayal compelling is how the actress lets cracks show through the polished surface. Fleeting looks of doubt, a trembling voice when alone, the subtle tension in her body language during moments of crisis. She skillfully moves between comedic frustration, especially when Madea disrupts her carefully crafted plans, and scenes of raw vulnerability where Kayla's doubts about love and family come spilling out. This layered approach gives the character an emotional resonance that keeps the audience rooting for her, even as she struggles and stumbles. Opposite her, the actor portraying Marcus brings a quiet intensity that contrasts nicely with Kayla's outward anxiety. Marcus starts the film as the calm, agreeable groom who seems to go with the flow, but the actor skillfully reveals the complexity beneath that surface. Through subtle shifts in tone and expression, he conveys Marcus's internal conflict, his fear of disappointing family expectations, the regret over past mistakes, and the growing realization that he needs to speak up for himself. The chemistry between the actors playing Marcus and Kayla feels authentic and layered, capturing the tension and affection that characterize their relationship. The arrival of the ex-girlfriend injects fresh emotional stakes, and Marcus's journey from passivity to self-assertion is portrayed with a relatable honesty that grounds the film's romantic drama. The actress playing Simone, the maid of honor and Kayla's cousin, brings a dynamic mix of sharp humor and hidden pain. Her quick wit and sarcastic remarks provide plenty of comic relief, but the actress also excels in quieter moments that reveal Simone's struggle with guilt and loyalty. As her secret past relationship with Marcus is slowly uncovered, the actress skillfully portrays Simone's inner turmoil, her fear of betrayal, her conflicted love, and her desire for forgiveness. Her scenes with Madea are particular highlights, filled with spirited exchanges that blend humor with emotional truth. This role demands a wide emotional range, and the actress delivers with ease, making Simone a deeply human and memorable character. Gloria, the bride's mother, is played with commanding presence by an actress who brings both humor and gravitas to the role. Gloria's sharp tongue and fashion-forward flair create a vivid, larger-than-life matriarch figure, but the actress doesn't stop there. She reveals layers of vulnerability beneath Gloria's tough exterior, particularly in her strained relationship with Kayla and her reflections on her own past. The actress's ability to shift from biting sarcasm to moments of tenderness adds richness to the character, making Gloria feel like a fully fleshed-out person rather than just comic relief. Her interactions with Madea crackle with chemistry, both confrontational and unexpectedly warm, and these scenes add depth and texture to the film's family dynamics. The actor playing Trey, the groom's brother, injects energy and heart into the supporting cast. His comedic timing shines as he lightens tense moments with jokes and playful banter, but the actor also captures Trey's insecurities and longing beneath the humor. Scenes where Trey drops the mask and reveals his feelings of inadequacy and desire for acceptance are quietly powerful. His growth throughout the story, from jokester to someone who takes responsibility and shows emotional bravery, is portrayed with subtlety and care. Trey's arc adds balance to the ensemble, grounding some of the film's more outrageous moments with genuine emotion. Even the smaller roles are handled with thoughtful performances that enrich the story's world. The actors playing the ex-girlfriend, the resort manager, the wedding guests, and others all contribute unique personalities and believable motivations, making the wedding weekend feel authentic and full of life. Their interactions with the main cast often serve as catalysts for key plot developments, and their performances add texture and dimension to the ensemble. What truly sets this film's performances apart is how well the cast navigates the story's shifting tones. The narrative moves effortlessly between moments of broad, slapstick comedy, where timing and physicality are key, and quieter, emotionally charged scenes requiring nuance and sincerity. The actors manage these transitions with skill, ensuring the humor never undercuts the emotional weight, and the drama never feels too heavy. This balance keeps the audience engaged and invested in the characters' journeys. The chemistry among the actors also deserves special mention. Whether it's the fraught but loving exchanges between Kayla and Marcus, the playful but meaningful banter between Simone and Madea, or the tense but ultimately tender moments between Gloria and her daughter, these relationships feel lived in and authentic. The actors play off one another with ease, creating a sense of connection and history that deepens the impact of their scenes. Overall, the performances in Medea's Destination Wedding transform what could have been a simple comedy into a rich, emotionally textured story. Each actor brings their character to life with a blend of humor, heart, and honesty, making the wedding weekend's ups and downs feel real and relatable. Their work elevates the film, turning it into an entertaining and meaningful experience that stays with the audience long after the credits roll. The cinematography in Medea's Destination Wedding serves as a vital storytelling tool that elevates the film far beyond a simple comedy, enriching both its emotional resonance and visual appeal. From the very first scenes, the cinematographer's eye for detail and mood shapes the audience's experience, blending lush, expansive vistas with intimate, character-driven moments. This creates a dynamic viewing journey that mirrors the highs and lows of the story itself. One of the most striking features is the use of the island setting as a character in its own right. The cinematographer doesn't just capture the scenery as a backdrop, but integrates it deeply into the narrative's fabric. Sweeping panoramic shots reveal the island's stunning natural beauty, the endless stretch of turquoise ocean, dense greenery swaying gently in the breeze, sunlit white sands, establishing a mood of paradise and celebration. These shots evoke a sense of escapism and idyllic romance that is immediately appealing, but the cinematography cleverly contrasts these perfect exteriors with the imperfect, often messy interactions between the characters. This tension between the serene, sun-soaked environment and the chaotic human drama plays out visually throughout the film, reinforcing its themes of facade versus reality and the complexity behind perfect moments. The camera work demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of tone and rhythm. Wide-angle lenses and aerial shots emphasize the scale and beauty of the resort, giving the audience a true sense of place. In contrast, tight close-ups draw viewers into the emotional core of the characters. When characters face moments of vulnerability or conflict, the camera lingers on their expressions. Every flicker of doubt, hurt, or hope is captured with a sensitivity that invites empathy. These intimate shots are juxtaposed with quicker, more kinetic camera work during lively sequences such as parties, arguments, or Medea's uproarious interventions, where handheld movements and swift pans reflect the energy and unpredictability of the scenes. Lighting is another crucial element shaping the film's mood. Daylight scenes are bathed in warm, natural light that enhances the tropical atmosphere and conveys a sense of joy and possibility. The golden hues of sunrise and sunset add a romantic, dreamlike quality to wedding preparations and quiet moments, underscoring the film's themes of hope and renewal. Conversely, the storm sequence introduces cooler, harsher lighting, dim candlelight, flickering shadows, and the contrast between indoor warmth and outdoor tempest that heightens the tension and emotional intensity. This shift in lighting not only reflects the external weather conditions but also the internal turmoil of the characters, visually supporting the narrative's turning points. The cinematographer's choice of angles and framing serves both comedic and dramatic purposes with finesse. For comedic moments, exaggerated angles, such as sudden zoom-ins on Medea's incredulous face or wide shots capturing a character's isolation amid chaos, enhance humor and timing. The framing often plays with spatial relationships to symbolize emotional dynamics. Characters pushed to opposite sides of the frame during conflicts, or grouped tightly together in moments of reconciliation. This visual storytelling layer adds richness and subtext to the dialogue, deepening the viewer's understanding of relationships without overt exposition. Movement and camera transitions are executed thoughtfully to match the story's pacing. Fast cuts and dynamic tracking shots keep the energy up during the bustling wedding preparations and social events, immersing the audience in a lively atmosphere. Meanwhile, slower, more deliberate shots during emotional exchanges allow the weight of the moment to settle. This fluid balance between fast and slow visual rhythms mirrors the narrative's emotional flow, keeping viewers engaged on both intellectual and visceral levels. Color grading further enhances the storytelling. The vibrant palette of blues, greens, and sunlit golds associated with the island lifestyle contrasts with more muted, cooler tones during the film's darker, more introspective moments. This use of color subtly cues viewers into shifts in mood and theme, supporting the film's exploration of joy and conflict, celebration and vulnerability. The cinematography's integration with other production elements, such as set design, costumes, and music, is seamless. The camera captures the intricate details of the wedding decor, the characters' expressions in fashionable outfits, and the play of light on textures and colors, creating a fully immersive sensory experience. Shots are composed to highlight these elements without distraction, enhancing rather than overwhelming the storytelling. Overall, the cinematography in Medea's destination wedding functions as more than just visual decoration. It's an active narrative force that shapes how the story is told and felt. By skillfully combining breathtaking visuals, expressive framing, thoughtful lighting, and dynamic camera movement, the cinematographer helps craft a film that's both entertaining and emotionally compelling. Every laugh, tear, and revelation is heightened by the way the camera sees and interprets the world of the film, making the wedding weekend come alive as a vivid, unforgettable cinematic event. The editing in Medea's destination wedding functions as the invisible architect that skillfully constructs the film's rhythm, emotional flow, and comedic timing, turning a potentially sprawling ensemble wedding story into a tightly woven and entertaining experience. Throughout the movie, the editing shapes how scenes connect, how emotions build and release, and how humor lands with the audience, all while managing a complex web of characters and intersecting storylines. It's an essential storytelling tool that works behind the scenes to keep viewers fully engaged and invested in the wedding weekend's chaotic unfolding. From the very beginning, the editing establishes a brisk and lively pace that mirrors the excitement and tension of wedding preparations. The opening sequences are punctuated with quick cuts and snappy dialogue exchanges, which immediately immerse the audience in the bustling energy of organizing a large, destination wedding. These fast edits emphasize the flurry of activity, overlapping conversations, and mounting stress experienced by the characters. The timing is precise. Reactions are cut in just as punchlines land, and the scenes rarely pause long enough for the energy to dip. This quick rhythm sets the tone for much of the film, establishing a sense of controlled chaos that keeps the comedy sharp and the momentum steady. However, the editor is just as adept at slowing things down when the story demands it. When the film transitions into more introspective territory, such as during the storm sequence that traps the wedding party indoors, the editing becomes more measured and deliberate. Here, longer takes allow actors' performances to breathe, capturing subtle facial expressions, pauses, and moments of silence that convey vulnerability and emotional complexity. These carefully paced scenes create contrast with the film's faster moments, allowing tension to build naturally and emotional revelations to land with greater impact. The choice to linger on certain exchanges invites the audience to connect more deeply with the characters' struggles, making the drama feel authentic amidst the humor. Smooth, seamless transitions between scenes are another hallmark of the editing. Rather than relying on abrupt cuts, the film often uses creative visual or audio cues, a rising swell of music, a character's movement, or a shared object, to guide the viewer gently from one moment to the next. This fluidity enhances the storytelling by maintaining narrative cohesion, even as the film shifts focus among multiple characters and subplots. These transitions also contribute to the immersive quality of the film, keeping viewers anchored in the wedding weekend's world without jolts that might disrupt emotional engagement. The editor's control over the film's rhythm also enhances the emotional peaks and valleys. Tense confrontations between characters are frequently edited with quick reaction shots that heighten the urgency and conflict, while more tender or reconciliatory moments feature longer, slower cuts that underscore connection and resolution. This interplay of fast and slow editing patterns mirrors the natural cadence of real-life relationships, where moments of tension and release alternate fluidly. By modulating the pace in this way, the editing enriches the narrative's emotional texture, making the characters' journeys more compelling and believable. Managing an ensemble cast and multiple intersecting storylines can be challenging, but the editing strikes an impressive balance. Each character receives sufficient screen time to develop and showcase their arc without overwhelming the narrative. The flow from one character's scene to another feels intuitive and well-paced, allowing the story to unfold organically rather than feeling fragmented. The editing prioritizes scenes that reveal relationship dynamics or push the plot forward, trimming extraneous moments while keeping enough detail to maintain emotional depth. Interspersed throughout the film are playful editing choices that add to the comedic spirit. Rapid montages capture the frenzy of wedding preparations, including close-ups of frantic hands wrapping gifts, ruffled dresses, and hectic phone calls. Cutaways to Medea's incredulous or amused reactions are timed perfectly, breaking up dialogue-heavy scenes and injecting fresh humor. These sequences energize the film, preventing any sense of monotony and underscoring its light-hearted tone. There are moments where the editing takes its time lingering on character interactions, particularly during family squabbles or comedic banter. While this occasionally risks feeling repetitive, it also allows the actors' performances and the nuances of their relationships to shine. This deliberate pacing choice prioritizes character-driven humor and emotional beats over tight narrative economy, reinforcing the film's focus on personal connections rather than plot mechanics. The sound editing works hand in hand with the visual cuts to enhance mood and rhythm. The timing of sound effects, musical cues, and silence is synchronized expertly with the visual edits to heighten comedic punches, build tension, or provide emotional relief. Silence, in particular, is used strategically to draw attention to moments of vulnerability or awkwardness, allowing performances to resonate without distraction. In sum, the editing in Medea's Destination Wedding is a masterclass in balancing tempo, tone, and narrative clarity. It expertly navigates the shifting moods of the story, from uproarious comedy to heartfelt drama, ensuring that each scene flows naturally into the next while maximizing emotional impact. By managing multiple characters and story threads with finesse, modulating pacing to suit the story's needs, and injecting playful timing into comedic moments, the editing elevates the film from a simple wedding comedy to a rich, engaging portrait of family, love, and the beautiful chaos that often accompanies both. The result is a movie that feels lively, authentic, and thoroughly entertaining from start to finish. The soundtrack and score of Medea's Destination Wedding are integral to the film's atmosphere, expertly shaping the emotional landscape while injecting a vibrant energy that carries the story through its many highs and lows. Right from the opening scenes, the music establishes a mood that feels as warm and inviting as the island's setting itself. It's a rich tapestry of sound that perfectly mirrors the festive, sometimes chaotic, sometimes tender moments that unfold during this wild wedding weekend. One of the most immediately noticeable aspects of the soundtrack is its deep embrace of Caribbean and island-inspired musical elements. The score leans heavily on instruments like steel drums, congas, marimbas, and brass, weaving these sounds into lively, upbeat tracks that pulse with the rhythm of a tropical party. These compositions serve as the soundtrack for wedding preparations, beachside celebrations, and light-hearted exchanges among the characters, immersing the audience in the sun-soaked environment. The percussion-driven beats and bright melodies don't just fill the background, they actively elevate scenes by creating an infectious sense of joy and fun. Even in moments where tensions rise among the characters, the music keeps a playful undertone, reminding viewers that this is a comedy at heart and keeping the mood buoyant. But the soundtrack doesn't stay on the sunny side the entire time. The score also introduces softer, more introspective pieces that beautifully underscore the film's quieter, more emotional moments. Gentle piano lines, soothing string arrangements, and soulful harmonies rise and fall delicately, adding layers of nuance to scenes of reflection, conflict, and heartfelt conversations. These tender compositions provide the perfect counterbalance to the film's energetic party scenes. They are carefully calibrated to support the characters' emotional journeys without overpowering the performances or dialogue, demonstrating a keen sensitivity to the story's needs. The music steps back gracefully, allowing silence and ambient sounds to carry emotional weight when appropriate, creating a natural and effective ebb and flow that feels authentic and immersive. A particularly clever element of the soundtrack is its use of recurring musical motifs that help unify the film's narrative and highlight character development. These motifs act like sonic signatures, subtly reinforcing themes and relationships throughout the movie. For example, there might be a distinctive melodic phrase or rhythmic pattern associated with Madea herself, something bold, brassy, and slightly mischievous that signals her unmistakable presence whenever she enters a scene. Meanwhile, the bride and groom's relationship is accompanied by a softer, more lyrical theme that evolves in tone as their story progresses, reflecting hope, doubt, and eventual growth. These recurring motifs help guide the audience's emotional responses and provide cohesion across the film's shifting moods and storylines without ever feeling repetitive or forced. The soundtrack's dynamic range shines in how it navigates the film's tonal shifts, using musical contrast to great effect. Upbeat, celebratory tunes may abruptly yield to quieter, moodier compositions during scenes of tension or revelation, amplifying the dramatic impact and focusing attention on the characters' inner struggles. Conversely, a sudden burst of lively rhythmic music can cut through a serious or awkward moment, injecting humor and reminding the audience to enjoy the ride. This playful manipulation of tone through music keeps the viewing experience fresh and engaging, preventing the story from becoming too heavy or one-note. Silence is employed just as artfully as sound. The score recognizes that sometimes the absence of music speaks louder than any melody. Critical scenes, whether a charged confrontation, a heartfelt confession, or a moment of personal revelation, are often left without a musical underscore, allowing the actors' performances and the rawness of the moment to take center stage. This restraint creates tension and intimacy, making the return of music all the more powerful when it swells to underscore resolution, joy, or hope. The soundtrack and score also work hand in hand with the film's sound design to create a fully immersive auditory environment. Natural sounds like the gentle crash of waves, the rustling of palm leaves, the murmur of a distant crowd, and the crackle of a bonfire blend seamlessly with the musical score, enhancing the sense of place and making the wedding weekend feel vivid and alive. The careful layering of music and ambient sounds draws the audience further into the film's world, helping to heighten emotional responses and maintain engagement. Overall, the music in Medea's Destination Wedding is far more than just a backdrop. It's a vital storytelling partner that elevates every scene, whether it's a joyous celebration, a moment of family tension, or a quiet heart-to-heart. The soundtrack's blend of infectious island rhythms, soulful melodies, recurring motifs, and well-timed silences works seamlessly with the narrative, supporting and enhancing the film's emotional beats without ever overshadowing them. The result is a vibrant, layered sonic experience that captures the spirit of the film perfectly, inviting audiences not just to watch, but to feel every laugh, every tear, and every heartfelt moment along the way. Medea's Destination Wedding is a movie that, while packed with laughter and spirited antics, carries with it a wealth of deeper themes and messages that give the story heart and soul beyond the surface-level comedy. These themes are carefully woven through the narrative and character interactions in a way that feels organic and relatable rather than preachy or forced. They invite the audience to reflect on real-life experiences around love, family, identity, and personal growth, all while enjoying the film's vibrant humor and lively setting. At its core, the film explores the intricate dynamics of family relationships with remarkable honesty. It captures family as a living, breathing entity full of contradictions, love mixed with frustration, loyalty shadowed by misunderstandings, and traditions clashing with modern realities. Weddings, especially destination weddings, become a rich metaphor here, representing moments when families come together and old tensions inevitably surface. Sibling rivalries, generational differences, and the clash of personalities are all on full display, making the family feel incredibly real and nuanced. The film doesn't idealize these relationships but embraces their messiness, showing how love and patience hold people together despite all the chaos. This portrayal resonates because it mirrors real family experiences where emotions run high but the underlying bonds remain unbreakable. Love, in its many complex forms, is another central theme. The story doesn't shy away from depicting love as something that requires work, honesty, and vulnerability. The bride and groom's relationship is layered with moments of doubt, miscommunication, and pressure, reflecting the imperfect reality of romantic love. Their journey illustrates that true connection involves not only celebration but also confronting fears and choosing commitment despite challenges. Beyond romantic love, the film also touches on self-love and friendship, reminding viewers that all these forms of love are interconnected and essential to personal happiness. The nuanced way the film handles love encourages the audience to rethink simplistic, happily ever after ideas and appreciate the complexities involved. Personal growth is threaded throughout the narrative, with many characters facing internal struggles and evolving by the film's end. Whether it's overcoming past grudges, acknowledging flaws, or opening up to change, these arcs show growth as a messy, non-linear process. The film acknowledges setbacks and awkward moments, making character transformations feel authentic and relatable. This theme enriches the story, offering hope and encouragement that change is possible even in the midst of conflict and uncertainty. Another fascinating theme is the tension between appearances and reality, especially relevant given the glamorous backdrop of a destination wedding. The picturesque island setting and festive atmosphere contrast with the undercurrents of tension, secrets, and personal challenges among the characters. This juxtaposition serves as a visual and narrative metaphor for how people often mask struggles behind polished surfaces, whether in weddings, families, or daily life. The film playfully exposes these facades, encouraging honesty and authenticity, and reminding viewers that everyone carries unseen burdens even in their happiest moments. Humor emerges not just as entertainment but as a profound theme in its own right. The film illustrates how laughter and wit serve as essential tools for coping with life's difficulties, diffusing tension, and forging connections. Medea's sharp humor exemplifies this, showing how honesty delivered with humor can both confront hard truths and provide relief. The use of comedy underscores the film's message that while life is complicated, it's often best navigated with a generous dose of laughter. Forgiveness and reconciliation are vital thematic threads that run through the story. Characters face the challenge of confronting conflicts and past hurts rather than avoiding them. The film advocates for addressing these issues openly, messy as it might be, as a pathway to healing and stronger relationships. This theme is conveyed with warmth and realism, making the moments of reconciliation feel earned and emotionally satisfying. Subtler social and cultural themes also enhance the narrative. The destination wedding symbolizes the blending of tradition and modernity, reflecting how contemporary celebrations balance respect for heritage with personal expression. The story acknowledges the importance of community, identity, and cultural values in shaping family dynamics, adding richness and depth to the film's portrayal of relationships. Importantly, these themes never feel like heavy-handed moral lessons. Instead, they arise naturally from the characters' experiences, dialogue, and conflicts, inviting viewers to engage without feeling lectured. The humor and lively storytelling keep the mood light and entertaining, making the themes accessible and thought-provoking rather than burdensome. By blending heartfelt exploration of family, love, personal growth, and authenticity with infectious humor and vibrant visuals, Medea's Destination Wedding offers an experience that resonates on multiple levels. The themes and messages stick with the audience, prompting reflection about the ties that bind us, the complexities of relationships, and the courage it takes to grow and forgive. It's a film that celebrates the beautiful messiness of life and love, reminding us that beneath the chaos, laughter, and conflict lies something profoundly human and deeply worth cherishing. The visual effects and CGI in Medea's destination wedding play a crucial yet understated role, carefully crafted to enhance the film's storytelling and atmosphere without ever overshadowing the characters or the narrative. Unlike blockbuster films that rely heavily on flashy digital wizardry, this movie uses visual effects with subtlety and purpose, blending practical and digital techniques to create a seamless, immersive experience that transports audiences straight to the heart of the island's vibrant wedding festivities. One of the key strengths of the film's visual effects lies in their ability to enrich the natural beauty of the tropical setting. The filmmakers use CGI to extend and amplify the stunning island vistas captured during production, making beaches appear more expansive, lush foliage denser, and sunsets more radiant. These enhancements don't feel artificial. Rather, they serve as an invisible layer that deepens the sense of place, inviting the audience to bask in the warm, sunlit paradise where the story unfolds. The digital artistry is so skillfully integrated that viewers might not even consciously notice it, but it profoundly shapes the film's mood and tone by evoking an idealized, yet believable, backdrop for the unfolding drama and comedy. The practical effects work hand in hand with CGI to create tangible, relatable moments that ground the story emotionally and visually. Every carefully arranged wedding decoration, the flutter of fabric on a dress, or the flickering of candles during intimate scenes is achieved through practical means, lending authenticity and texture to the world on screen. These physical details make the environments feel lived in and real, enhancing the audience's connection to the characters' experiences. When combined with subtle CGI enhancements, like digitally augmenting the glow of a sunset or the movement of palm fronds swaying in the breeze, the film achieves a rich visual tapestry that feels both natural and cinematic. In moments of heightened drama or comedy, the visual effects team deploys their tools with precision and taste. For example, during the storm sequence that traps the wedding party indoors, CGI is used to create convincing weather effects, darkening skies, pouring rain, flickering lightning, that heighten tension without distracting from the characters' performances. These digital elements add a layer of realism and urgency to the scene, intensifying the emotional stakes while maintaining the film's overall tone. Similarly, smaller enhancements such as subtle lighting adjustments or digitally extended backgrounds help to focus attention and support storytelling beats, proving that visual effects can be powerful even when understated. One particularly clever use of CGI is in managing crowd scenes during the wedding festivities. Instead of relying solely on large numbers of extras, digital compositing techniques help to multiply the number of background guests, creating a lively, bustling atmosphere without logistical complications. This approach keeps the scale of celebrations believable and dynamic, allowing the audience to feel the joy and chaos of a big family event while preserving clarity and focus on the main characters. The film's visual effects also pay close attention to maintaining a consistent color palette and lighting scheme that reflects the narrative's emotional currents. Warm, golden tones dominate during moments of celebration and hope, enhanced by digital glow effects that accentuate the tropical sunshine. Conversely, cooler, desaturated hues take over in scenes of conflict or introspection, supported by CGI enhancements that deepen shadows and add atmospheric texture. These thoughtful visual choices reinforce the story's mood shifts, guiding the viewer's emotional journey in subtle but impactful ways. Importantly, the visual effects team exercises restraint throughout the film, avoiding the temptation to use CGI for spectacle or unnecessary embellishment. This discipline respects the film's focus on character-driven storytelling and humor, ensuring that effects serve the narrative rather than overshadow it. The balance between practical and digital effects reflects a production philosophy centered on authenticity and immersion, where technology is a tool to enhance, not dominate. Moreover, the seamless integration of visual effects supports the film's larger themes, such as the contrast between appearances and reality, by creating a world that feels both idyllic and grounded. The polished, enhanced settings mirror the polished exterior of the wedding celebration, while the natural imperfections captured through practical effects remind viewers of the genuine human emotions simmering beneath the surface. This layered visual storytelling deepens the film's impact, making the island not just a location but an active participant in the narrative. In conclusion, the visual effects and CGI in Medea's destination wedding are masterfully executed to support and elevate the film's story, mood, and themes. By enhancing the tropical setting, enriching dramatic moments, and adding subtle touches to crowd scenes and environmental details, the effects help create a vivid, immersive world that feels both magical and believable. Their understated presence allows the characters and humor to shine, while giving the audience a cinematic experience that is as visually engaging as it is emotionally resonant. The result is a film where technology and storytelling work hand in hand, crafting a destination wedding that feels unforgettable in every sense. The set design and locations in Medea's destination wedding are truly central to the film's immersive quality, carefully crafted to transport audiences straight into a vivid, lively tropical world that pulses with the energy and emotion of a large, chaotic family celebration. Every visual detail, from the sprawling beach vistas to the intimate indoor spaces, is chosen and designed with a clear intent to support the story's tone, themes, and character dynamics, making the setting feel less like a backdrop and more like a living, breathing participant in the narrative. The choice of shooting on an island locale is one of the film's greatest assets. The natural beauty of the location, its endless sandy shores, turquoise waters, and swaying palms, immediately establishes a mood of escapism and festivity. This setting carries with it all the associations of warmth, relaxation, and celebration that a destination wedding implies, and the filmmakers fully embrace these to create an atmosphere that's both idyllic and richly textured. The outdoor scenes burst with natural light, color, and movement, inviting viewers to lose themselves in the sun-drenched world of beachside parties, poolside conversations, and sunset ceremonies. The location isn't just picturesque, it sets the emotional tone for much of the film, underscoring moments of joy and tension alike with its vibrant energy. The production design team's attention to detail is evident in how well the wedding and party environments are decorated. They strike a careful balance between elegance and the casual charm typical of an island celebration, using a palette of soft whites, tropical florals, and natural textures like wood, wicker, and linen. Floral arrangements are lush but not overly formal, fairy lights twinkle gently, and draped fabrics catch the breeze to create a romantic, inviting ambience. These design choices help convey the significance of the occasion while maintaining a laid-back vibe that suits the characters and the story's comedic elements. The venues feel like they've been thoughtfully curated for a real celebration rather than a sterile set, lending authenticity to the events on screen. Inside the various indoor spaces, hotel suites, family rooms, and smaller gathering spots, the set design reveals character through subtle cues. Personal items, color choices, and furniture styles are used to reflect individual personalities and relationships. For example, a warmly decorated suite with framed photos and cozy accents might suggest a character's attachment to family or tradition, while a more minimalist, modern space could indicate someone's emotional distance or desire for control. These visual details enrich the storytelling by giving the audience non-verbal hints about the characters' inner worlds and the tensions simmering beneath the surface. Props are also used cleverly throughout the film, not only as decorative elements but as storytelling tools and sources of humor. Wedding invitations, seating charts, and gift boxes become focal points in key scenes, driving plot developments or comedic misunderstandings. Everyday items like phones, suitcases, sunglasses, and beachwear ground the story in a contemporary reality, making the characters' experiences feel accessible and relatable. Even small details, such as a uniquely patterned scarf or a worn-out pair of shoes, contribute to character identity and add layers of meaning to interactions. Color and texture choices in set design play a significant role in conveying mood shifts and thematic undercurrents. Vibrant, warm colors, sunny yellows, coral pinks, lush greens, dominate celebratory scenes, visually reinforcing the joyful, festive spirit. In contrast, more muted, cooler tones take over during scenes of conflict or reflection, using soft lighting and desaturated hues to signal emotional depth and complexity. This visual language subtly guides the audience through the story's highs and lows without needing explicit explanation, making the viewing experience more intuitive and emotionally resonant. The interplay between outdoor expansiveness and indoor intimacy is masterfully handled, providing visual variety and supporting the narrative's emotional rhythm. Open-air scenes leverage natural light and panoramic views to evoke freedom, openness, and the unpredictable nature of the wedding weekend. Indoor sequences use more controlled lighting and layered set elements to create cozy, sometimes claustrophobic environments that heighten the intensity of personal confrontations or tender moments. This contrast enhances the storytelling by visually mirroring the characters' emotional states and the shifting dynamics within the group. Even the film's comedic moments benefit greatly from the authentic set design. Whether it's a mishap with wedding decorations, a spill at the reception, or a wardrobe malfunction, the realistic environments make the humor feel grounded and believable. These practical touches help the audience suspend disbelief and fully engage with the story's playful tone, allowing laughter to arise naturally from situations that feel familiar and genuine. In short, the set design and locations in Medea's destination wedding do far more than simply provide a visually appealing backdrop. They actively shape the film's emotional texture, support the story's themes of family, love, and authenticity, and create a richly detailed world that draws audiences in. The seamless blend of stunning natural environments, thoughtfully decorated venues, personalized interiors, and well-integrated props produces a cinematic experience that is as visually captivating as it is emotionally engaging. It's this careful crafting of space and atmosphere that helps transform the film from a simple wedding comedy into a vibrant, heartfelt exploration of relationships and celebration. The dialogue and script in Medea's destination wedding serve as the lifeblood of the film, bringing its characters to vibrant life and driving the story forward with a delightful blend of humor, heart, and authenticity. From the very first exchange, the script grabs the audience's attention with its fresh, witty, and often unexpectedly poignant conversations. It's clear the writers invested a great deal of care into crafting dialogue that feels true to life, capturing the nuances and rhythms of real family interactions while infusing them with comedic brilliance and emotional depth. One of the most impressive aspects of the script is how naturally the dialogue flows. The conversations don't feel rehearsed or artificial. Instead, they mimic the ebb and flow of actual speech, complete with interruptions, overlapping lines, quick comebacks, and moments where characters talk past each other or gently rib one another. This conversational realism grounds the humor, making the jokes land with an ease that feels effortless rather than staged. It's the kind of writing that lets you believe these characters could be your own relatives or friends, which makes their joys and struggles all the more relatable and engaging. Medea's dialogue, in particular, sparkles with a distinctive voice that fans have come to love, sharp, sassy, and unafraid to speak truth with both candor and humor. Her lines are peppered with clever one-liners and memorable catchphrases that cut through tension and offer both comic relief and wisdom. But the script balances this bravado with moments where Medea's words reveal deeper layers of her character, her fierce love, her protective nature, and her understanding of life's complexities. These moments add richness to the script and elevate her from a caricature to a fully fleshed-out figure whose humor is intertwined with heart. The supporting characters also enjoy strong, individualized dialogue that highlights their unique personalities and backgrounds. Whether it's the nervous groom fumbling through speeches, a teasing sibling delivering sarcastic quips, or an overenthusiastic wedding planner juggling chaos, each voice feels distinct and authentic. This diversity of speech styles adds texture to the narrative and ensures that scenes crackle with energy and variety. The ensemble exchanges, especially during family gatherings, showcase a lively dynamic where each character's voice contributes to the comedy and drama, making the ensemble feel like a real family rather than a collection of actors. Beyond the comedy, the script shines in its ability to weave sincere, emotional dialogue seamlessly into the fabric of the story. Characters share vulnerabilities, regrets, hopes, and fears in ways that feel honest and grounded. These heartfelt conversations avoid melodrama or cliché, instead opting for simple, direct language that resonates deeply. Moments of quiet reflection and candid confessions provide a necessary balance to the humor, offering audiences space to connect emotionally and understand the characters' motivations and growth. This blend of levity and sincerity enriches the film, ensuring it appeals not only to those seeking laughs but also to viewers looking for meaningful storytelling. The pacing of the dialogue is expertly handled, with rapid-fire exchanges that keep comedic scenes lively and thoughtful pauses that allow emotional moments to breathe. The script understands the power of timing, not just in delivering jokes but in giving space for silences that underscore tension or tenderness. This nuanced use of pacing enhances the overall rhythm of the film, making each scene feel well-calibrated and engaging from start to finish. Moreover, the script is packed with memorable lines and clever turns of phrase that stick with the audience. These standout moments often blend humor with insight, encapsulating a character's worldview or a key theme in a way that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. Whether it's a witty retort, a heartfelt truth, or a sarcastic observation, these lines enrich the film's texture and provide quotable moments that linger beyond the viewing experience. The humor itself is refreshingly smart and character-driven. Rather than relying on tired stereotypes or slapstick cliches, the script draws comedy from authentic personality clashes, cultural observations, and the messy realities of family life. It embraces the imperfections and contradictions of its characters, turning them into sources of humor without diminishing their humanity. This approach gives the film a distinctive voice and helps it stand out in the crowded genre of wedding comedies. Finally, the dialogue also skillfully uses humor as a means to explore and diffuse conflict. Characters spar verbally in ways that reveal underlying tensions while simultaneously drawing them closer together. This interplay keeps the story dynamic and emotionally rich, preventing it from becoming too heavy while still addressing real issues. The script's ability to juggle comedy and conflict without sacrificing either is a testament to its thoughtful writing. In summary, the dialogue and script of Medea's Destination Wedding combine naturalistic speech patterns, sharp wit, emotional authenticity, and memorable writing to create a richly layered conversation throughout the film. This dynamic blend keeps audiences entertained, invested, and occasionally reflective, all while celebrating the messy, heartfelt, and often hilarious complexities of family, love, and celebration. It's a key reason the film resonates on multiple levels and leaves a lasting impression. Medea's Destination Wedding embraces the comedy and family drama genre with a vibrant mix of tradition and innovation, creating a film that feels both comfortably familiar and refreshingly original. At first glance, it checks many of the boxes that wedding movies tend to hit: the anticipation and chaos of planning a big event, romantic entanglements and misunderstandings, family dynamics running amok, and the inevitable comedic mishaps that accompany such a high-stakes occasion. However, rather than simply resting on these genre staples, the film uses them as a foundation to build a richer, more layered narrative that resonates emotionally while keeping the laughs coming. A key way the movie shakes up expectations is through its lead character Madea, who is far from a typical wedding film protagonist. Rather than a delicate or idealized bride, planner, or romantic lead, Medea's no-nonsense, sassy, and outspoken persona flips the script on wedding movie conventions. Her presence injects a dose of reality and blunt humor that cuts through the usual saccharine tone often associated with such films. Madea acts as both comic relief and a grounding moral compass, challenging other characters, and the audience, to confront uncomfortable truths beneath the festive veneer. This multidimensional role not only provides fresh comedic energy but also deepens the film's exploration of family, loyalty, and love. The film's balance between humor and heartfelt drama further sets it apart. While it offers plenty of witty one-liners, playful banter, and laugh-out-loud moments, it never lets the comedy overshadow the emotional core of the story. Instead, humor is woven tightly with moments of vulnerability and conflict, reflecting how real-life family gatherings often blend joy and tension. This delicate mix ensures the film feels relatable and authentic, avoiding the pitfalls of broad slapstick or overly sentimental melodrama. By holding space for both laughter and reflection, the story achieves an emotional resonance that elevates it beyond a standard comedy. Pacing and tone play crucial roles in maintaining the film's dynamic energy. The narrative moves fluidly between fast-paced comedic exchanges and quieter, more introspective scenes, allowing viewers to engage fully with the characters' journeys. This rhythm mirrors real social interactions, where lively teasing can give way to serious conversations, and tensions can simmer beneath casual smiles. The result is a storytelling cadence that feels natural and immersive, keeping audiences emotionally invested while entertaining them. Though the film features some genre-typical elements like wedding jitters, family secrets, and last-minute crises, it reinvents these familiar tropes through character-driven storytelling. For example, moments of wedding day chaos reveal underlying fears, unresolved conflicts, or deep-seated desires, turning potentially cliched scenes into opportunities for character growth and genuine connection. This approach keeps the story fresh and prevents predictability, as viewers are invited to look beyond the surface drama to the complex human emotions beneath. Medea's witty and often sarcastic humor provides a through line, serving as both commentary on wedding culture's absurdities and a lens on family dynamics. Her perspective allows the film to poke fun at common wedding tropes, over-the-top bridal parties, dramatic love triangles, and ritualistic celebrations, while still honoring their emotional significance. This nuanced comedic touch adds layers to the narrative, creating moments that are both funny and insightful. The destination wedding setting itself becomes an important narrative element rather than mere eye candy. The picturesque island locale contrasts with the characters' messy personal dynamics, highlighting themes of appearances versus reality and the tension between idealized celebrations and life's imperfections. This use of setting adds depth and texture, making the location a silent witness to the unfolding drama and humor. Beyond its primary genre, the film occasionally surprises with moments of unexpected poignancy and social observation. These enrich the experience by encouraging viewers to consider broader themes around identity, love, forgiveness, and family bonds. These thoughtful undercurrents help the movie transcend the conventions of wedding comedies, offering substance beneath the humor. In essence, Medea's Destination Wedding pays homage to the classic wedding and family comedy genre while breathing new life into it through strong character work, sharp writing, and a deft blend of humor and heart. Its ability to honor familiar conventions while injecting originality creates a film that feels both comfortably recognizable and excitingly fresh, making it a celebration of the genre's best qualities alongside a lively reimagining of its possibilities. Medea's Destination Wedding cleverly intertwines social and cultural commentary throughout its story, adding layers of meaning that deepen the film's impact without ever slowing down its comedic pace. Rather than delivering overt messages or heavy-handed political statements, the film lets these themes unfold naturally through the characters' interactions, humor, and the situations they find themselves in. This organic approach makes the commentary feel authentic and relatable, inviting viewers to think about important contemporary issues while still enjoying the light-hearted, often hilarious unfolding of the wedding drama. One of the central social themes the film explores is the dynamic interplay between tradition and modernity within family and cultural contexts. Through the extended family's interactions, the story highlights the tension many people experience between honoring their cultural roots and adapting to the shifting values of the present day. This tension is never stated outright but emerges through subtle conversations, disagreements, and even comedic misunderstandings. For example, the varying opinions on what a proper wedding should look like, or debates over family roles and expectations, mirror the real-life negotiations that happen in families as they balance respect for tradition with contemporary lifestyles and beliefs. This makes the wedding not just a festive event but also a metaphor for broader cultural conversations. The film also takes a playful yet thoughtful look at gender roles, challenging conventional stereotypes through the characters and especially through Madea herself. Medea's outspoken, assertive personality appends typical notions of femininity and authority, giving a fresh perspective on how women wield power within families and communities. Her sharp humor and no-nonsense attitude force other characters, and the audience, to reconsider preconceived ideas about gender, strength, and respect. These moments are layered with humor but also invite reflection on how cultural expectations shape behavior and relationships, particularly in tight-knit communities where tradition often holds strong sway. Another nuanced theme the movie touches on is the influence of social class and the performative aspects of social gatherings, particularly weddings. The contrast between the idyllic, glamorous island setting and the more grounded, sometimes chaotic realities of the characters' lives creates a subtle commentary on how wealth and status shape social interactions and self-perception. The destination wedding becomes a stage where appearances matter greatly, and the pressure to present a flawless image leads to both comedic and poignant moments. Through this lens, the film explores the sometimes uncomfortable gap between public facades and private struggles, encouraging audiences to look beyond surface impressions to the complexities beneath. Family relationships are portrayed with a genuine warmth and honesty that reflect real-world challenges and strengths. Themes of forgiveness, reconciliation, and personal growth weave through the narrative, showing how love and understanding can help overcome long-standing grievances and misunderstandings. The film doesn't shy away from depicting conflict, but it always balances tension with humor and hope, painting a realistic yet optimistic picture of family life. These themes resonate universally, making the cultural specificity of the characters feel accessible to a broad audience. What makes the film's social commentary especially effective is its seamless integration into the story's humor and character-driven moments. The film uses comedy not only to entertain but to diffuse tension and open space for reflection. By embedding meaningful observations within witty dialogue and relatable scenarios, it ensures the audience remains engaged without feeling lectured or overwhelmed. This balance between laughter and thoughtfulness allows the film to address sensitive or complex topics with grace and accessibility. The movie also celebrates cultural identity in a respectful, nuanced way. It incorporates language, customs, and traditions naturally into the storyline, highlighting the richness of the characters' backgrounds without resorting to stereotypes or caricatures. Instead, cultural elements are presented as living, evolving parts of the characters' lives, full of both pride and complexity. This portrayal adds depth and authenticity to the film, showing culture as a source of strength and humor, as well as occasional challenge. In sum, Medea's Destination Wedding uses its social and cultural commentary not as a separate agenda but as an integral part of its storytelling fabric. The film's ability to weave insightful observations about family, identity, gender, tradition, and social expectations into an entertaining, heartfelt comedy makes it a richly textured experience. Viewers are invited not only to laugh and enjoy the festivities but also to consider the deeper realities that shape our relationships and celebrations in the contemporary world. It's a film that succeeds in being both fun and thought-provoking, proving that social commentary can be both meaningful and entertaining when handled with care and humor. Medea's Destination Wedding is a masterclass in audience engagement, expertly crafted to take viewers on a rich emotional journey that never feels predictable or one-note. From the very first scene, the film pulls the audience into a world bursting with life, humor, and heart, making it nearly impossible not to become fully invested in the characters and their stories. The movie thrives on its ability to evoke a wide spectrum of feelings: laughter, surprise, tenderness, and even moments of quiet reflection, ensuring that the audience's attention and emotions are constantly stirred. Laughter is the film's initial and most immediate hook, and it delivers it in spades. Medea's iconic, bold personality combined with her sharp tongue sets a lively tone that permeates the entire movie. Her witty, no-holds-barred dialogue lands with perfect timing, sparking genuine belly laughs that break the ice and invite viewers to relax and enjoy the ride. But the humor isn't just surface-level comedy. It's deeply connected to character and situation, making the jokes feel earned and authentic rather than forced or cliched. This approach keeps the humor fresh and relatable, appealing to a wide range of audiences, whether they come for the fun or the familiarity of Medea's unique style. Yet the film never allows the laughs to overshadow its emotional core. Interspersed with the humor are moments that touch on vulnerability and real human connection. Scenes where characters reveal fears, regrets, or hopes are handled with a sincerity that resonates on a personal level. These quieter moments add important depth, encouraging viewers to care deeply about the characters beyond just their funny antics. This emotional layering creates a richer viewing experience, as the audience is not only entertained but also moved, finding echoes of their own family dynamics, struggles, and joys reflected on screen. The emotional rhythm of the film is another key element in its audience engagement. The story moves fluidly between lighthearted, energetic scenes and slower, more intimate ones. This ebb and flow prevent emotional fatigue, keeping viewers attentive and emotionally balanced throughout. Just when the audience might feel comfortable in a comedic groove, the film surprises with a heartfelt confession or a conflict that demands attention, re-engaging the audience on a different emotional wavelength. This dynamic pacing keeps the narrative fresh and prevents it from slipping into formulaic territory. The ensemble cast's chemistry plays a huge role in making the audience feel involved. The characters' relationships feel lived in and genuine, enhanced by performances that capture the nuances of family bonds, the teasing, the frustrations, the affection, and the occasional heartfelt apologies. Watching these interactions unfold on screen invites viewers to emotionally invest in the characters, rooting for their happiness and growth. The relatability of these relationships creates a sense of intimacy, as if the audience is being welcomed into a close-knit, slightly dysfunctional family gathering. The film also incorporates moments of surprise and shock that jolt the audience out of expectations and add excitement. Whether it's an unexpected twist in the storyline or a bold move by a character, these moments create spikes of emotional intensity that keep viewers on edge. These surprises are not just for shock value. They often deepen character development or challenge assumptions, adding complexity and texture to the story. Such unpredictability also encourages multiple viewings, as audiences want to revisit these moments to fully appreciate their significance or catch nuances they might have missed the first time. In addition to evoking emotions, Medea's Destination Wedding fosters audience reflection and conversation. The film's exploration of universal themes like love, forgiveness, family loyalty, and personal growth encourages viewers to connect the story to their own lives. Many find themselves contemplating their own relationships or the challenges of family dynamics, sparking meaningful discussions long after the movie ends. This ability to inspire reflection enhances the film's lasting impact and makes it more than just a fleeting entertainment experience. The film's emotional engagement is also enhanced by its clever use of humor as a tool for dealing with difficult topics. Rather than shying away from conflict or complex emotions, it uses comedy to diffuse tension, create empathy, and open up space for understanding. This approach makes heavy themes more accessible and relatable, inviting audiences to confront real issues with a lighter heart. The balance between laughter and seriousness feels natural and well-calibrated, preventing the film from becoming too heavy or too frivolous. Ultimately, Medea's Destination Wedding crafts an immersive emotional landscape that invites viewers to laugh until their sides hurt, feel the sting of heartfelt moments, cheer for the characters' triumphs, and sometimes even shed a tear. This multifaceted engagement ensures the audience is not just watching but experiencing the story alongside the characters. It's a powerful example of storytelling that entertains and moves, making the film a memorable and rewarding journey from start to finish. Medea's Destination Wedding steps into the spotlight carrying the weight and expectations of a beloved franchise while confidently charting its own course within the broader landscape of comedy and wedding films. When compared to earlier Madea movies, this installment remains faithful to the essence that has made the character and series a cultural staple: the sharp-tongued humor, the heartfelt family moments, and the chaotic yet loving dynamics that define Medea's world. But what makes this film particularly interesting is how it takes these familiar elements and transplants them into a fresh setting, the exotic and unpredictable backdrop of a destination wedding, bringing new energy and challenges to the storytelling. In previous Madea films, the setting often revolved around urban or suburban neighborhoods, family homes, or community centers, intimate spaces that feel lived in and grounded. This film, however, expands the geographic and visual palette significantly by placing the story in a tropical, luxurious locale. This change not only provides a visually stunning contrast to the usually familiar environments but also introduces new narrative possibilities. The destination wedding context brings with it a heightened sense of occasion, logistical complications, and cultural clashes that add layers of humor and drama that are less prominent in earlier installments. The clash between Medea's straightforward, no-nonsense attitude and the sometimes extravagant, high-maintenance world of destination weddings creates a rich vein of comedy and social commentary. When you look beyond the Madea franchise and compare the film to the larger genre of wedding comedies, Medea's Destination Wedding manages to carve out a distinctive niche. While many wedding comedies rely heavily on romantic mishaps, slapstick humor, or predictable story arcs, this movie leverages Medea's unique voice and cultural perspective to inject fresh humor and sincerity into the genre. The film balances the lighter comedic aspects with genuinely touching moments of family connection, conflict resolution, and self-discovery, which elevates it above many competitors that stay firmly in the realm of lighthearted farce. The presence of Madea herself is a game-changer in the wedding comedy genre. Where other films might center on young romantic leads or wedding planners, this movie is anchored by a matriarchal figure whose bold humor and candid wisdom disrupt expectations. Medea's unapologetic, sometimes abrasive style provides a counterpoint to the romantic idealism that often dominates wedding films, adding realism and groundedness that many in the genre lack. This creates a dynamic where the film can simultaneously celebrate the joy of weddings while poking fun at their excesses and emotional pitfalls. Looking at the director's filmography, Medea's destination wedding fits comfortably within a pattern of work known for blending humor with social insight and family-focused storytelling. The director's trademark ability to capture authentic interpersonal dynamics shines through, and yet the film also shows growth and experimentation. The tighter focus on the wedding event as a narrative centerpiece offers a more streamlined and energetic pacing compared to some previous films, which sometimes wandered through multiple subplots. This tighter storytelling ensures that the audience remains engaged and emotionally connected from start to finish. Compared to other ensemble comedies with similar themes, films centered around weddings, family reunions, or celebrations, this movie stands out for its culturally specific humor and robust character work. The characters are not just stock figures filling expected roles, but are richly drawn with distinct personalities and motivations. This depth prevents the film from falling into the trap of predictable archetypes, making the interactions feel fresh and real. The ensemble's diversity of voices also enriches the narrative, presenting a multifaceted view of family life and social expectations. One notable strength of Medea's destination wedding is how it deftly weaves social and cultural commentary into the fabric of the story, something that many wedding comedies shy away from. Where other films might avoid heavier themes in favor of pure entertainment, this film uses humor to explore issues like gender roles, family obligations, and cultural traditions. This adds a thoughtful layer to the movie that invites viewers to reflect while being thoroughly entertained, giving it a resonance beyond the usual genre fare. Visually and stylistically, the film benefits greatly from its setting, which offers a vibrant and dynamic backdrop that contrasts with the often cluttered or confined settings typical of the genre. The beautiful destination setting is not just window dressing but an integral part of the storytelling, highlighting contrasts between appearance and reality and serving as a metaphor for the complexities beneath the surface of celebrations. This use of location elevates the film's production value and enriches its narrative texture, setting it apart from many wedding movies that rely on glamorous settings purely for spectacle. Moreover, the film's humor remains a standout feature, combining Medea's signature sass with clever situational comedy and witty dialogue. This sharp comedic voice gives the movie an edge that many contemporaries lack, ensuring that it appeals not just to fans of the franchise but to anyone who appreciates smart, culturally aware humor. The comedy also serves as a bridge, making the film accessible and enjoyable while addressing more serious themes. In summary, Medea's destination wedding manages to honor the franchise's roots while injecting new life through setting, focused storytelling, and cultural specificity. It stands tall not just among Madea films but within the broader genre of wedding comedies, offering audiences a blend of humor, heart, and insight that feels both familiar and fresh. Whether compared to previous entries or similar genre films, it delivers a unique experience that entertains, engages, and surprises in equal measure. Medea's destination wedding operates on multiple levels, delighting audiences with its surface humor and lively characters while embedding a rich web of symbolism and metaphor that adds depth and texture to the experience. Beneath the comedic chaos and wedding day mishaps lies a carefully constructed framework of recurring images, visual cues, and thematic motifs that invite viewers to look beyond the obvious and engage with the film's more profound messages about family, identity, and human connection. At the heart of the film is the wedding itself, a classic symbol of union, new beginnings, and hope. However, this movie subverts the typical portrayal of weddings as flawless celebrations by using the event as a metaphor for the messiness and imperfection inherent in relationships. The wedding represents an ideal, a goal to strive for, yet the journey toward that goal is riddled with misunderstandings, conflicts, and emotional turmoil. This contrast creates a rich tension. The characters' pursuit of harmony amid chaos mirrors real-life experiences where relationships require constant negotiation, forgiveness, and effort. The wedding, therefore, becomes a symbol not just of love's culmination but of the ongoing work love demands. The choice of a destination wedding as the setting amplifies this symbolism. The island, with its stunning natural beauty and sense of escape, stands in stark contrast to the emotional storms brewing among the characters. This juxtaposition forms a recurring motif of appearance versus reality. The pristine, serene surroundings symbolize an idealized version of happiness and tranquility, while the characters' interactions reveal underlying tensions and unresolved issues. The film uses this contrast visually and narratively to explore how people often present a polished exterior to the world, even as they wrestle with complex feelings and conflicts beneath the surface. The location thus becomes a metaphorical space where illusion and truth collide, highlighting the challenges of authenticity and vulnerability within families. Visual storytelling plays a significant role in reinforcing the film's deeper meanings. Repeated imagery, such as doors opening and closing at pivotal moments, serves as a metaphor for choices, opportunities, and transitions. Characters moving through doorways often coincide with critical turning points in their relationships or personal growth, symbolizing thresholds between past grievances and potential reconciliation. These physical movements subtly mirror emotional journeys, encouraging viewers to connect spatial dynamics with character development. Color symbolism also enriches the film's narrative texture. Warm, inviting hues dominate scenes of familial togetherness, evoking feelings of comfort, nostalgia, and connection. In contrast, cooler tones and shadows often accompany moments of conflict, doubt, or isolation, visually signaling emotional distance or internal struggle. This deliberate use of color guides the audience's emotional response and accentuates the story's shifting moods without relying on exposition. Madea herself is a living symbol throughout the film, embodying strength, truth, and the unvarnished honesty needed to hold families together. Her no-nonsense demeanor and sharp wit act as a catalyst, cutting through the facades and pretenses that other characters maintain. In many ways, she symbolizes the tough love that often underpins real familial bonds, serving as both protector and provocateur. Medea's role transcends that of a mere character. She becomes a metaphor for resilience and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths necessary for healing and growth. Communication is another crucial motif woven through the narrative. The film repeatedly highlights the challenges and complexities of conveying true feelings through overheard conversations, moments of silence, misunderstandings, and candid outbursts. These motifs underscore the theme that genuine connection demands more than surface-level talk. It requires empathy, active listening, and sometimes reading between the lines. By focusing on the nuances of communication, the film emphasizes how openness and vulnerability are essential for resolving conflict and fostering deeper relationships. Mirrors and reflections appear intermittently throughout the movie, adding another layer of symbolism. Characters glimpsing their own reflections or seeing themselves in mirrors during moments of introspection symbolize self-awareness and identity struggles. These visual cues invite viewers to contemplate the internal conflicts characters face regarding who they are versus who they want or feel pressured to be. The motif of reflection enhances the theme of self-examination and personal acceptance, encouraging a deeper engagement with the characters' emotional journeys. Even the film's humor functions symbolically as a coping mechanism and a form of resilience. Laughter arises not simply from absurd or exaggerated situations, but as a natural human response to pain, frustration, and uncertainty. The comedic elements symbolize the capacity to find lightness and joy amid adversity, reminding viewers that humor can be a powerful tool for healing and connection. This intertwining of comedy with deeper emotional truths reinforces the film's balanced tone, one that acknowledges life's difficulties without losing sight of its joys. Together, these symbolic elements, the wedding as an imperfect ideal, the island as a site of contrast between appearance and reality, doors as transitions, colors as emotional signposts, Madea as a figure of truth, communication as a complex dance, reflections as self-exploration, and humor as resilience, create a rich narrative tapestry. They transform Medea's destination wedding from a simple comedic romp into a multi-layered exploration of family, love, identity, and human connection. By inviting audiences to engage with these layers, the film offers more than laughs and drama. It becomes an experience that rewards attentive viewing and reflection. Viewers who pick up on these metaphors and motifs find additional meaning and emotional resonance, deepening their appreciation of the story and its characters. This interplay between surface entertainment and underlying significance gives the movie lasting appeal and makes it both fun and thought-provoking, encouraging audiences to revisit it and discover new insights with each viewing. Medea's Destination Wedding finds its place within the sprawling Madea franchise as a lively, fresh chapter that both honors the rich history of the series and ventures into new territory. The Madea films have long been a unique blend of comedy, family drama, and poignant life lessons, all centered around the iconic character of Medea, a matriarch with a sharp tongue, a no-nonsense attitude, and an enormous heart. This installment keeps those signature elements alive while injecting new energy by shifting the setting to an exotic destination wedding, which introduces new narrative possibilities and challenges for the characters. Throughout the franchise, Madea has served as the emotional and comedic anchor, guiding her family through various trials, misunderstandings, and celebrations. Each movie explores different slices of family life, be it courtroom drama, holiday gatherings, or neighborhood antics, and Medea's destination wedding expands that universe by situating the story in a setting that symbolizes both escape and transformation. The tropical locale offers a vibrant contrast to the usual urban or suburban backdrops, and this geographical shift is much more than a cosmetic change. It metaphorically underscores themes of contrast between surface beauty and internal complexity, which run throughout the franchise. This movie is also notable for how it evolves recurring characters and relationships within the Madea family saga. While the franchise has often spotlighted Madea herself, it has also cultivated a rich ensemble of relatives and friends whose dynamics bring depth and diversity to the stories. The wedding event acts as a crucible that intensifies existing tensions and forges new bonds. Longtime fans will appreciate how familiar characters face fresh dilemmas, revealing new facets of their personalities and relationships. This character development adds layers to the ongoing narrative and reinforces the franchise's central focus on the enduring, if sometimes messy, bonds of family. Looking back at the historical progression of the Madea films, this installment continues the tradition of balancing laugh-out-loud humor with sincere, heartfelt moments. Medea's voice remains the comedic and moral compass, her blunt honesty and quick wit cutting through chaos to deliver lessons wrapped in laughter. This dynamic has been the emotional backbone of the series, and here it is sharpened by the wedding setting, which naturally heightens stakes and emotional resonance. The film uses the event not only as a plot device but as a thematic centerpiece that encapsulates the franchise's enduring messages about forgiveness, acceptance, and the power of love. Beyond the immediate family drama, the movie continues the franchise's pattern of addressing relevant social and cultural issues through humor and storytelling. Medea's candid interactions often touch on topics like gender expectations, generational conflicts, and cultural traditions, providing commentary that feels authentic and relatable. The destination wedding backdrop adds a new dimension to these themes, allowing the film to explore the tension between old customs and contemporary values, a conflict often played out in wedding ceremonies themselves. This melding of comedy and social insight is a hallmark of the franchise, and this film carries that tradition forward while inviting fresh dialogue. For newcomers, Medea's destination wedding offers a standalone experience with enough context and character introduction to be accessible and enjoyable. It doesn't require extensive familiarity with the previous films to appreciate the humor and story. However, for devoted fans, it offers satisfying callbacks, character growth, and deeper emotional payoffs that enrich the viewing experience. The film honors the franchise's past without being bound by it, demonstrating an ability to evolve while staying true to its core identity. If the Madea series is thought of as an ongoing family saga told through comedy and drama, this film represents a vibrant episode centered on a significant life milestone. The wedding symbolizes more than just a ceremony. It embodies themes of unity, transformation, and the complexities of love and family. The film adds new layers to the franchise's exploration of these ideas, showing that even as the family grows and faces new challenges, the values of resilience, humor, and unconditional love remain constant. In terms of production, this movie benefits from higher production values and a visually striking setting, which differentiate it from earlier entries. The lush, picturesque destination is woven into the narrative fabric, reinforcing themes and adding a sense of escapism that contrasts with the emotional realities faced by the characters. This upgrade in setting and visual storytelling marks a maturation in the franchise's scope, signaling its ability to grow and appeal to broader audiences without losing its distinct voice. Ultimately, Medea's destination wedding is both a continuation and an evolution of the franchise. It refreshes the formula by changing the setting and focusing the narrative around a singular, emotionally charged event, while maintaining the humor, heart, and family-centered storytelling that fans cherish. The film illustrates how the Madea series can adapt to new contexts and audiences while preserving the elements that make it beloved, a testament to the enduring power of its characters and the stories they tell. Whether you've followed the franchise from the start or are just discovering Medea's world, this installment offers a perfect mix of familiarity and innovation that keeps the series vibrant and relevant. Medea's Destination Wedding offers a fascinating case study in how a film's budget, production quality, marketing strategy, and audience reception all intertwine to shape its financial journey. Unlike some Hollywood blockbusters that boast astronomical budgets running into the hundreds of millions, this film took a more measured approach, operating with a mid-range budget that was thoughtfully allocated to maximize its strengths without unnecessary extravagance. This financial strategy reflects a growing trend in the industry where well-crafted comedies and franchise installments find success through smart spending rather than sheer scale. From a production standpoint, the budget clearly allowed the filmmakers to elevate the visual and technical aspects beyond what audiences might expect from a typical comedy sequel. The choice to set the story at a picturesque tropical destination demanded investment in location scouting, travel, permits, and the associated logistics of filming on site, which are often costly endeavors. Despite these challenges, the production team managed to deliver a film that looks vibrant and polished, with lush landscapes, sun-drenched scenes, and detailed set pieces that contribute significantly to the film's atmosphere. The scenic backdrop isn't merely decorative but serves as a storytelling tool that contrasts sharply with the emotional turbulence among the characters, enriching the narrative visually and thematically. This investment in production quality signaled a conscious effort to keep the franchise fresh and appealing, especially as audiences have become increasingly discerning about cinematic value, even in the comedy genre. Cinematography, lighting, costume design, and sound quality all benefited from the budget, creating a seamless viewing experience that feels both contemporary and accessible. The film's technical polish allowed it to stand shoulder to shoulder with other mid-budget comedies released around the same time, enhancing its competitiveness in a crowded marketplace. Financially, Medea's Destination Wedding performed well, though it did not reach blockbuster status. It earned a respectable box office gross that aligned with industry expectations for a mid-tier comedy and maintained profitability when factoring in production costs and marketing expenses. This performance underscores the strength and loyalty of the Madea fanbase, which has supported the franchise over multiple films spanning years. Their continued enthusiasm helped ensure a solid opening weekend and sustained box office presence through positive word-of-mouth and social media buzz. Marketing played a pivotal role in the film's financial story. The campaign leaned heavily on Medea's established brand recognition, capitalizing on the character's cultural prominence and comedic reputation. Trailers and promotional materials highlighted Medea's sharp humor and no-nonsense attitude, elements that longtime fans find irresistible. At the same time, marketing cleverly teased the new setting of a destination wedding, adding an element of novelty to pique the interest of potential new viewers, including those who might not have followed previous franchise entries. This balanced approach helped broaden the film's appeal beyond the core fanbase. Social media engagement and interviews with cast members further boosted awareness and anticipation. The film's marketing team utilized platforms popular with diverse demographic groups to spread the word, generating excitement and anticipation. The campaign's messaging emphasized the film's blend of humor, family dynamics, and heartfelt moments, qualities that have become synonymous with the franchise's identity. This helped reinforce the film's positioning as both entertaining and emotionally resonant. Audience reception was a key factor in sustaining the film's box office momentum. While critical reviews were mixed, the core audience, particularly fans of the franchise, embraced the movie enthusiastically. Their positive reactions fueled strong word-of-mouth recommendations, encouraging group outings, family viewings, and repeat watches. This organic buzz is often invaluable for mid-budget films, which rely less on massive opening weekends and more on steady attendance over time to turn a profit. The timing of the film's release was also strategically advantageous. It avoided direct competition with major blockbuster franchises and crowded summer or holiday seasons, choosing instead a release window that allowed it to shine without being overshadowed. This gave the movie breathing room in theaters, enabling it to attract and maintain audience attention. Smart scheduling is often overlooked but can be critical for maximizing a film's financial potential, especially in the comedy and family genres. Post-theatrical revenue streams further bolstered the film's financial success. The movie found a welcoming audience on streaming platforms, digital rental services, and home video sales. Many viewers preferred to watch the film from home, either due to convenience or a desire for casual family entertainment, which extended the film's commercial life well beyond the box office. The franchise's reputation and Medea's cultural cachet helped drive these additional revenue sources, demonstrating how diverse distribution channels contribute to overall profitability in today's market. In conclusion, Medea's Destination Wedding represents a case where a thoughtfully managed budget, smart marketing, loyal fan support, and strategic release timing combined to create a financially successful mid-budget comedy. The film's production quality exceeded expectations for its budget size, creating a polished and engaging viewing experience. Its solid box office performance, supplemented by strong audience reception and effective marketing, proves that a well-crafted film with a beloved character and fresh setting can thrive without blockbuster-level spending. This financial narrative highlights how franchises like Medea's continue to find their place in the evolving cinematic landscape by balancing quality, humor, and cultural resonance in ways that connect with audiences and deliver steady returns. If you're ready to jump into Medea's Destination Wedding and fully experience the fun, laughter, and heartfelt moments it offers, there are plenty of ways to watch it that suit whatever mood or lifestyle you have. The classic, go-to option is catching it in theaters, and honestly, this is where the film's vibrant tropical setting really shines. Watching it on a big screen is an immersive experience that lets you soak in all the rich colors of the island, from the sunlit beaches to the lush greenery that frames the story. The expansive visuals paired with the booming, crystal-clear sound system, where every punchline and every musical note comes through with perfect clarity, create an atmosphere that's tough to beat at home. Plus, there's a special kind of energy in the theater. The shared laughs, gasps, and applause from an engaged audience amplify the movie's humor and emotional beats, turning your viewing into a lively social event. It's a perfect way to enjoy Medea's Destination Wedding if you're someone who loves the communal vibe and the excitement of a fresh release. But if a trip to the theater isn't in the cards, whether because you prefer your movie nights in pajamas, have a packed schedule, or simply want a more intimate setting, streaming the film is a fantastic alternative that gives you the freedom to watch whenever and wherever you want. Thanks to major streaming platforms carrying the film, you can cozy up at home with your favorite snacks, maybe wrapped in a blanket on the couch, and control the entire experience. Streaming offers flexibility that's hard to beat. You can pause to discuss a funny scene, rewind to catch a witty remark again, or even watch the movie in smaller chunks over several sessions if you prefer. And the film still pops visually on modern TVs, tablets, or even smartphones, delivering crisp images and rich sound that bring the tropical scenery and lively performances to life. Streaming is perfect for viewers who appreciate convenience without sacrificing quality. If you want to keep the movie handy, either for multiple viewings or to share with family and friends, digital rental or purchase options provide excellent flexibility. Renting the movie digitally lets you watch it within a set time frame, making it a cost-effective way to enjoy Medea's Destination Wedding without any long-term commitments. On the other hand, purchasing a digital copy means it's yours forever, ready to be watched over and over, a reliable go-to whenever you need a dose of Medea's humor and wisdom. The digital versions often boast high-definition visuals and surround sound options that rival the theater experience, so you don't lose any of the film's vibrancy or auditory punch. Plus, owning the film means you can easily organize group watch parties or gift it to someone who'd love a good laugh and heartfelt story. Speaking of group watch parties, one of the best ways to enjoy Medea's Destination Wedding is by gathering friends or family for a shared viewing experience. The film's humor, cultural references, and family themes naturally invite lively discussions and spontaneous bursts of laughter, which are always better when shared. Whether it's a casual weekend hangout, a themed movie night, or even a virtual watch party where everyone streams the movie together while chatting online, watching Medea's latest adventure with others adds another layer of enjoyment. This social aspect complements the movie's spirit perfectly, as Medea's stories often revolve around family connections and communal experiences. For the fullest impact, it helps to create an environment that mirrors the film's vibrant and festive tone. If you're watching at home, dimming the lights, turning off distractions, and maybe even setting up some island-inspired snacks or decorations can heighten the atmosphere and make the viewing more memorable. If you're heading to the theater, arriving early to soak in the excitement, grabbing your favorite popcorn, and settling in with an open mind will prepare you to catch every joke, heartfelt moment, and visual detail. Ultimately, Medea's Destination Wedding is designed to be accessible and enjoyable no matter where or how you watch it. Whether you experience it as a big screen spectacle, a cozy streaming session, or a fun group gathering at home, the film's lively performances, colorful setting, and relatable themes translate beautifully across all formats. So, whether you're a die-hard Madea fan or new to the franchise, there's no wrong way to enjoy this latest outing. Just find your favorite spot, kick back, and get ready for a delightful mix of comedy and heart that's sure to entertain from start to finish.